I saw a spider today making a web, and it got me thinking about some stuff. The spider uses the web for its livelihood, for capturing its prey, for eating, also where it rests. It spends a lot of the time on the web as opposed to on the ground. I'm sure it does many more functions than that as well, but it got me thinking about this thing, The spider can make webs. First of all, it's something additional to the spider, or external in a way because it made it. It's outside of its own body. Although it was produced from the inside of the body, it puts it on the outside. It assembles it very nicely, which it's quite interesting. How does it know? How does it make these patterns? How does it make things? It's actually pretty simple. It makes one line here and connects one line over there, and then it goes around from the center of those lines in a circle, and it makes it very nice. It begins looking geometric because the lines of each part of the circle to the circle, when it intersects the line, it becomes straight because it's being pulled tightly. So either way, I was thinking about it. This spider is using a tool that it has that is an alternative to its actual body. Although it's produced by the body and used through the body, it uses the hands. Now this tool that it uses, its web, is a part of the spider. It is the spider, more or less. But it has this interesting, or this divide between it and its web. It is not literally the web, but that web is as part of the spider as its legs. Now also, the spider is not gaining profit in the life, or by profit I mean eating its food, catching, finding out whether it is, whatever else it uses the web for sleeping. Its profit is not because it has so many legs. It's not eating because it has so many eyes that it could see better. It's not eating because the legs are strong. It's actually surviving and utilizing to the most extent of its life this alternative thing, this outside force. Outside, maybe we shouldn't say outside, but this a conjunctive force. It's in conjunction with the spider. This and this other thing, the web and the spider. You can't separate them, but there seems to be a separation. Now, the spider is harnessing this tool, this object, to its maximum potential. That's how it eats. It doesn't eat by grabbing something and holding on to it with its arms. It needs that web, that external thing, that in conjunction thing. So it got me thinking, this is similar to how the human and the mind works. What we call the mind. It's the brain is part of it, but there's also this external, this outside force. It comes from inside of us, like the spider makes the web in its abdomen, and then it ejects that web, and then the web is outside of it, and it uses it in the reality. So humans act in a very similar way. We have a mind, or our brain is the inside part of it, and then that brain ejects something out of a certain portion of us. It's not a physical thing though now. It ejects thought. It ejects investigation. Now that is something that, for that reason, we are not part of the animal kingdom anymore. Other animals, yes, are using their mind, but when I speak of the mind, I'm talking about what's making a painter investigate painting, look into painting. They're taking their mind into painting. But that's not the point. It's not about the king, if we're animals or not. But how I was seeing it is that the mind of a human should be used to the same prolific amount or proficiency that the spider is using its web. The spider needs that web. It sleeps on the web. It takes its time to make as nice as it can based on its environment, the best shape of the web, the web with the widest span so we can catch the most things. This is a good example of how humans can use their mind, how we should use our mind to make the widest spread of ideas we can, to be accepting of as many things fly into our minds, ideas, questions, other people's minds. And we take those, they get stuck in our mind's web, and we should look into them. We come over and we investigate. It is not, the power of the human is not, we have limbs that are very strong. We can barely lift anything. Compared to ants, we lift nothing. It is not that we run very fast or that we can bite very hard with our mouth. You see where I'm getting at? The spider cannot run very fast. That's not its goal. It's not how it is not just surviving, but how it is making its life. It is through this tool that it uses, which is part of it, an integral tool. And now the mind is in a very similar way. It is an integral tool, and when you use it properly, then we'll start to see humans. When we see humans that aren't using their mind like the spider uses its web, and what do you think of those spiders? If you just saw a spider walking around, all the time walking, she never bothered to make a web. She always wanted to just walk around. They wouldn't catch many things to eat. They wouldn't really have anywhere to sleep. They would have to just walk everywhere. And yeah, spiders can walk pretty far. They got a lot of legs to do, a lot of maneuvering. But that's not what sets them apart from other things. They are the ones that can make a web. Some birds make nests, but this is different. That's a home that they want to live in. This is not only a home, this is the livelihood of the spider, the existence of the spider. And not all spiders do this. Some dig a hole and catch predators like this, but for this example, we'll talk about the ones that spin the webs. Now, humans. Some humans don't use their mind. They go to work, they go to a job, and they sit there and then they punch some numbers, and then they come home and then they sit on a couch and look at a box with shadows in it, with light shadows. And that's different. That's like the spider walking around on all of its legs. And it just kind of struck me, and I thought it'd be something to mention. And I'll probably expand on this later on, because this has just come to me, but that's, the mind is not just the human itself. It is an additional thing. It is also us. It is external to us, and it is us. The spider web is external to the spider, and it is the spider. So we have to accept both these things. It's both and. It's both internal and external. So I'd like to see how much more I could learn from some animals around here. There's lots and lots to learn from animals. I think this is just, it just really hit me, and I've been thinking about it all day. Alright.